Every year, thousands of people come from all around the world to go to Christmas markets in Germany and France and other countries in Europe. And since I was a little kid, my family would always go to these Christmas markets, and my favorite thing to get was crepes from street vendors, and they'd make them right in front of you and serve them fresh, and I always loved it. So today I'm going to teach you guys how to make crepes. To make crepes, we're going to do 3 steps. So the first step is mixing up the batter, and that requires a medium-sized bowl and a whisk. And the second step is cooking the crepes, and that requires a frying pan and a spatula. And then the third step is going to be filling the crepe, and that is going to be using a plate. To make crepes, my family always uses the Betty Crocker recipe, which is the one I'll use today. And it's the one that my dad used, and we used to have this really big cookbook, but it got really old, so we just find it online now. And what you do is you start with the dry ingredients, which will be flour, baking powder, salt, and sugar. For the flour, you want to do 1.5 cups. So you take your measuring cup and you fill it with flour. And you make sure not to pack the flour down, but you just rub it across and take your knife like this and make it nice and even. And so you want to do a cup of that. And that just, you do that just to make sure that the flour doesn't get all dense. So you're going to want to do 1 more 1/2 cup of that. You pour that in, and then you do a tablespoon of granulated sugar. So you're going to need a tablespoon of sugar. You throw that in there. And then you want to do a 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder. And it's very important that you do baking powder and not baking soda. I've made that mistake before and it doesn't taste nearly as good. So you put in a 1/2 teaspoon of that, and then a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Salt, you want to be careful not to pour it out too fast because nobody likes something over salted. So you sprinkle that. And then you're going to want to take a wire or plastic whisk and just mix that till it's nice and fine. You don't have to do it very long, just till it's fine. And then you can start adding the dry ingredients. So we start with the milk, and we're going to want to do, or you start adding the wet ingredients. Start with the milk, and you add 2 cups of that. So 1, 2, and then you add 2 tablespoons of butter. I already melted mine, but you're going to want to melt the butter in the microwave so it has that nice consistency. And then a 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla. So same as the powder and the salt, just a 1/2 teaspoon. And then 2 eggs, and hopefully by now everyone knows how to crack an egg, but I just do it on the counter and tap it and then go like that. And make sure not to get any shells, and I'll throw those away later. So 2 of these. And if you do get a shell in there, it takes forever. So it takes forever to get it out, so just be careful of that. And then with the whisk, you're just going to want to mix it up until it's smooth. So crepes were always my favorite at the Christmas markets because they would fill the crepes with this warm Nutella that they'd fold into the crepes. And then sometimes at some Christmas markets, the plates that they put them on would be these edible wafers. So you could even eat the plates. And a joke in my family is that whenever I eat crepes, I cannot eat a crepe without getting Nutella all over my face because it's so good. And so after it's all mixed up, it's going to be this really fine batter, really nice and liquidy. And then after I make the batter, I'm now going to show you how to cook it and then how to decorate it. Okay, so here I have my already hot, it's on medium-high heat. It's a pan already lightly buttered, ready for the crepes. And so what I do is I take a 1/2 cup measuring cup, and I don't fill it to the brim, I just fill it about this much, and I put it in the pan, and then I use my pan, and well, that's a lot of butter. I want to make sure it doesn't stick. I make sure the butter or the batter goes all the way around the pan, and you wait a couple seconds to make sure, or a minute or two, to make sure that it's all hot. Now it's ready to flip, so you just gently put your spatula under the mix, and you want to make sure it's not going to fall apart on you, and you flip it, and it's got that nice golden brown texture. And then the second side only takes a couple seconds, and after that cooks, we're going to decorate it. Okay, I now transferred my crepe to the plate, and to decorate it, I first am going to put on a layer of strawberries, because I think strawberries are so delicious in a crepe, and you just want to do a nice layer, as many or as little as you want. And then I take whipped cream and drizzle that on top of the strawberries, and then you're going to want to take your fingers and roll up the crepe, and then no crepe's finished without chocolate. You're going to want to take the chocolate and drizzle it over the top. And this crepe is ready to eat. So today I taught you how to make crepes using 3 simple steps. First, we mixed up the batter. Second, we fried the crepes in the frying pan. And third, we filled the crepes with delicious toppings.